So there's cover three sky, there's cover three match, there's cover three buzz match, there's cover three cloud. There's a lot of different cover threes in the game, and if you look at them all just based off of the play art, you would think they're essentially the same coverage, but they all actually play quite differently. And so that begs the question, which one is the best? And the cop out answer is that it depends, but I don't want to do clickbait. So if you're looking for an answer, I'll give it to you right now. I'd probably, if forced to say one, I would probably say cover three match. So if that's what you came for, you got it. You can click off now. But if you want a more nuanced look and learn more about which you should run and when, that's what I'll be going through in this video. So I'm going to be going through the main different types of cover three. So let's start with everyone's favorite cover three. Well, maybe their second favorite as of right now, which is cover three sky. Got the play art down here at the bottom. And so I'm going to click play and we're going to, let's start by breaking down the safety in cover three sky. So cover three sky, you're always going to have that deep middle safety, and at the hike of the ball, they are just going to drop back and take away the deep middle of the field. Pretty self-explanatory. That's going to be your deep blue zone here. Okay, then you're going to have your corners. You got your corner over here and your corner over here on this side. They're going to be the other deep blues. Okay, so your corners make up the outside deep blues, and then this middle safety makes up the middle deep blue. And their responsibility is to make sure nothing gets behind them. Their whole thing is to just prevent wide receivers from getting behind them. They want to prevent cheap deep pass. Well, not cheap, but they're just trying to prevent the deep pass. Okay, that's why it's important to have speed at your corners and your safety. So as we can see there, they basically just drop back as fast as they can and take away the deep ball. Okay. So let's talk about the purple zones. These are your curl flats. And that's curl flat 1, curl flat 2. You can see them here in the play art. And so what they do in cover 3 sky is they jam the wide receiver, or they reroute him. They just give him a little shove, and the whole purpose is to interrupt his timing and to just disrupt the flow of the route that he's running. Okay, so if I press play here, you can see, boom. Ignore my phone there, but you saw the reroute there. Let me rewind it. Cover 3 sky, you're going to have this reroute, or anytime there's a curl flat, there's that little reroute there. Like I said, it's just to interrupt the timing of that route. Now we also have a curl flat on the other side as well. The other purple, which is here, he doesn't reroute him here, and I'm not quite sure why. I wonder if it's just due to the, I don't know why. I can't explain why he didn't, but typically the curl flats are rerouting the wide receivers, and then they're called curl flats because they guard the curl, which is here, and then they expand into the flat. Who knows what this guy here, he must have a low zone rating because he's all over the place. He's not rerouting his man. He's drifting back and forth. Look at this. He drifts to the flat. He comes back. Like, I don't know what he's doing. But those are your purple zones on cover 3 sky. Then in the middle, you have your 2 hook curls, and they just divide the middle of the field here, and they're going to carry. He's doing a good job of carrying and delivering this wide receiver to the safety, so he doesn't have to carry him all the way up the field because the safety can then take over, and then he drops back down. And that's essentially cover 3 sky. Cover 3 sky is a zone drop defense. So the defenders are covering space. They're not. They're defending space and not really wide receivers, if that makes sense. It is a zone drop defense. You can tell by zone. That's what that means there. Okay, so let's get into a match. What's the difference? Well, the simplest version of match, I have a more complicated explanation for what match coverage is, or a more complicated video where I explain how match works. You can check it out on my channel. Um, but the way match defense works is that anything vertical gets manned up, and anything underneath um, is defended with a zone type technique. Okay, that's the simple version for it. So I'll hit play here, and you see how this gets manned up all the way up the field. Now in cover 3 Sky, he just rerouted him, and then he expanded into the flat, but he carries him all the way up the field because it is a vertical route. So anything vertical gets manned up. On this side, let's see what this guy does, because he's terrible. He's an awful defender. He's trying to keep up with this tight end. Guess he does an okay job, but you can see he carries him all the way up the field. Last time in cover 3 Sky, he did not do that. All right. The corners, they are manned up on their wide receivers, very similar to cover 3 Sky. They carry them all the way up the field. The only difference is that if this, say they were running like a deep crosser or an in route, these wide receivers, the corners would stick with them. Like if Ryan Williams here, say he ran an in route like this across the field and he dragged across the field, this corner would drag with him all the way across the field. That's the difference between cover 3 match and cover 3 Sky. Cover 3 Sky, if he drug across the middle of the field, then the defender would just let the yellow zones, the hook curls, defend that. Okay, so anything vertical gets manned up. Anything shallow is defended with a zone technique. And you can see here, the running back is going to run an in route or an out route. I don't know. He's in the middle of the field, so I don't know what we'll call it. But the two hook curls here, the two yellow zones, they're playing a technique called banjo. And what that means is, depending on the route the running back runs will determine who mans him up. So in this example, the running back runs. All right, so he's cutting to the left. It looked like he was initially going to pick him up, but he's going to let his help pick him up. He's going to play to his help, and then the help will man him up and ride that all the way to the sidelines. So that's banjo technique. Now in the next example, this is still cover 3 match. I'm just showing the running back here. He's going to run to the right, and you can see this time this linebacker takes him to the outside. So that is when I say that the underneath stuff is kind of like a zone technique, that's what it is, even though it still kind of has man principles. So these two are playing banjo on the running back. Now, banjo can get more complicated, like this defender or this defender, they can get involved in banjo. It really just depends on the route the running back runs. So if you're going to play cover 3 match, I would stay off of any of these defenders simply because you don't want to interrupt the match logic and the banjo that they have programmed into the game. I would just play the deep middle safety here if you're going to play a cover 3 match, and just try to help over the top and then just let the computer do its work underneath. Okay, so that's a really simplistic explanation of cover 3 match. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, go ahead and check out the links in the description or the top pinned comment. I have links out to some of my premium videos. Videos like the Guaranteed Picks Blueprint, which is an insane video where I teach you how to get multiple interceptions per game, how I easily do that. Points on demand, one play touchdown setups. This is a video that I made that shows how I cook cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, palms, quarters, everything for one play touchdowns out of a formation that exists in every single playbook. There's also easy pre-snap tells where you can actually know whether or not your opponent is going to run or pass the ball pre-snap with 100% accuracy. So that's pretty insane. But and there's other videos. So if you're enjoying this video and you just sort of like how I teach content and want to learn more and go deeper, go ahead and check out those links. Okay, now back to the video. Cover 3 buzz match. Okay, so I was trying to figure out the difference between cover 3 buzz match and normal cover 3 match. And what I can tell based off the different playbooks that I looked at is that cover 3 buzz match is essentially just cover 3 match, but disguised as cover 4. All right, if I'm incorrect, feel free to let me know in the comments, but you can see here, if I rewind it, this is the cover 3 match looks. It looks like classic cover 3, right? We got corners 8 yards off the line of scrimmage and 1 deep safety. That's the classic cover 3 look. But cover 3 buzz match, we don't have 1 deep safety. We have 2, and we have the corners aligned 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. So it looks like cover 4. Okay, so the other piece to this that I've discovered is that with cover 3 buzz match, the safeties will rotate and one of them will drop into a hook zone and the other will drop to the deep middle of the field. Okay, and the safety that drops into the hook zone, in this example, it's this one, that is the buzzing safety. I think that's the reason why it's called cover 3 buzz match. Okay. Or I think that's why it's called cover 3 buzz, because that safety buzzes down into the hook zone. This linebacker, who looked like he was playing that hook curl, he's actually a curl flat. Well, actually, no, this is match. So he'll be a seam flat, which means he has match logic. So he will go and play his route, and then he'll match that vertical route, that tight end. And then this is the buzzing safety. He buzzes underneath. This here is a hook curl. He just sort of helps, and then he doesn't really have much to do since, you know, the corner matched this, the seam flat matched that, and then he has the running back. Everyone else is matched off, so he's just sort of looking for work right now. But that is, but that's cover 3 buzz match, right? So cover 3 buzz match looks like cover 4, but the safeties rotate at the snap. The one that drops into the hook curl, that's the buzzing safety. So it's essentially just cover a disguised version of cover 3 match. Now, I'm not sure if I said this earlier in the video, but people like to live in cover 3 match. And at a certain level, high level players, and I consider myself to be a high level player, we can break cover 3 with 1-play touchdowns. Cover 3 match with one play touchdowns. We can break any match coverage with 1-play touchdowns, because I don't know if I said this earlier or not. I'm kind of feeling like I might have, but match coverage is where the 1-play touchdowns happen, because the best players, the players that have done their homework, they know how to break the logic of match. We can easily manipulate and get 1-play touchdowns. A lot of the touchdowns that I get in online head-to-head, I play on Heisman mode, are because my opponents are in match coverage, and I can just bomb them for a 1-play touchdown. So just know that even though I said that cover 3 match is probably the best cover 3, that's only if your opponent isn't savvy enough to have those match coverage bombs, those match covered beaters. Like I have them for cover 3, I got them for cover 4 palms, I got them for cover 4 quarters. There's nothing you can do. If you're in match coverage, I'm going to assault you and throw for 300 plus yards in 4 touchdowns. And there's a lot of players like me out there like that. So just know that if you're wanting to live and die by match, that can be a result of the match coverage. But if your opponents don't have those beaters, then cover 3 match is going to be excellent for you. If you're coming out in just basic cover three match, which looks like this, and your opponent is dicing you up, try cover three buzz match, simply because it's still cover three, just looks a little bit different. And now you can understand the difference of the buzzing safety, and things just sort of rotate differently. But at the end of the day, it's still just cover three match. All right, and lastly, let's talk about cover four cloud. All right, so let's study the play art here. So this is a play where the art sort of lies to us. All right, so cover three cloud, it's classic cover three on one side, and then it has this cloud flat on the other side. Okay, so this is the cloud flat. The reason why we know that is because the corner is 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. That's a dead giveaway that it's a cloud flat. On this side, the corner is 8 yards off the line of scrimmage. So we know that, we know that that player is in a deep blue because he's 8 yards off. And this is 5 yards off, so he's in a cloud flat. So we know at the hike of the ball, the corner that's in the deep blue, his responsibility is to not let this player behind him. So they're essentially just racing up the field. Okay. He's trying not to let him get behind him. On this side where we have the cloud flat at the snap, he's not concerned with him getting behind him. He's actually okay with that because he knows he has safety help over the top. Okay. He is really at the snap. He watches the quarterback and slowly jogs backward. He's carrying this route slowly and delivering to the safety over the top, but he's also keeping his eyes on the quarterback in case the quarterback throws something underneath into the flat. He can easily crash down on that. So, and also the cloud flat also does have a reroute mechanic built in, so you can see that there. And then he's just going to watch the quarterback slowly jog up. He allows the safety to pick that up, and he's watching the quarterback. You can see he's watching the quarterback to see if anything else comes underneath here. Contrast that with this corner on this side who's completely has his back turned. He's not watching the running back, he's not watching the quarterback. He's concerned about not letting this wide receiver behind him. So that is the difference there. Now, I have two examples of this play because I want to show you when you want to run cover three cloud. So this is a 2x2 set. This is not, I don't think this is the best time to run cover three cloud because it essentially will then just play like basic cover three sky, right? The only difference is he's in a cloud flat and not a deep blue. Other than that, it plays pretty much the same. Okay. So if your opponent is, dumping it off into the flat, then you could run cover three cloud, but I would run cover three cloud against trips formations. This is when cover three cloud is very effective. So when you run cover three cloud, make sure you do not have any of your zone drop set, and make sure you have auto flip on, because you want to come out automatically flipped with your cover three side. You want it over the trips. Okay, and we know that it's aligned correctly because the safety is 8 yards off the line of scrimmage, so we know that's a deep blue. On the weak side of the formation, you want the cloud flat, and we know that's a cloud flat because he's 5 yards off of the line of scrimmage. All right, and so the play art, it lies to us because it looks like it's just like a basic zone drop defense, but you're going to see at the snap how this plays very well. This plays extremely well against trips formation. So let's start with the corner. We know what the corner is going to do. The corner, he doesn't want this wide receiver to get behind him. He's going to race him up the field, turns his back, he races him up the field. We know that. All right. Now let's look here. So there's the curl flat. He's going to reroute. He does his job and reroutes the number 2 receiver there. He reroutes him, and then he is going to expand into the flat. watching the quarterback. He's watching the quarterback. If the quarterback throws anything underneath into the flat, he can crash down on that. So he did a good job. This is a hook curl here. Now, hook curls typically play in the middle of the field, right? At least that's what they do on cover 3 sky. However, if you pick cover 3 cloud against a trips formation, watch how he plays this. He walls that off. He walls that off right there. And he's not playing like a classic hook curl. He does an excellent job of taking away the quick throw here. Then he takes away this. He walls this off so you can't pass it there. Then he's going to deliver it to the safety over the top. So he delivers that. Boom, and then he stops and he holds there. You see how well this trip side gets played? And then the other hook curl, typically like in a cover 3 sky, he'll expand this way. But cover 3 cloud against trips, the way the game programs it, is that he fades towards the trip side because that's where they'll need the most help. So he's taking away this quick throw here. He walls that off. That gets delivered to the safety. And then he can drop back down and take away anything that comes into his zone underneath. So they play that very well. They play that very well. There is a weakness though. I mean, this is open. So that's probably something you would want to user. If you're going to play cover 3 cloud, you'll probably want to user the linebacker on the weak side of the formation, and you want to take away, just know your responsibility is to wall off that trips or that innermost wide receiver there. Maybe ride him just a little bit longer. If you ride him a little bit longer and just do a better job of delivering him to him, then you can drop back down. Okay. I mean, and all these formations have weaknesses, by the way. Then if we take a look at the weak side, we have a 2-on-2, we have the tight end, we have the running back. And so this is the safety, and then we have the cloud flat. So we know how the cloud flat behaves, right? The cloud flat, instead of turning his back like the corner does on this side, he jogs back slowly with his eyes on the quarterback, watching the quarterback to see if he's going to dump anything to the flat. And that's what he does here, which is really nice because this is the side with the running back, and we often see swing routes, we see out routes, and things like that. So he is extra protection in case the running back runs into the flat here, but then he can also wall off at the same time a corner route to the tight end. And then once he rides that enough, the cornerback is saying he's open, but he's not open. And you can see that the safety did eventually, looks like, break towards that crosser. I'm not sure if he would have got there in time. You might be able to pass lead that right here and get a touchdown. But anyway, you can see the corner got his eyes on the quarterback. He's making sure nothing runs into the flat. Because nothing runs into the flat, he doesn't have to respect anything, so he can play high and tight on this corner route, which is what he does. That's a pick if the quarterback was to throw it. And that's cover 3 cloud. So if you're going to play cover 3 cloud, I would definitely play it against trips formations. I think that's when it behaves the best. I mean, it does a phenomenal job taking care of this trip set right here. The only weakness I would say is that he played it a little shallow right there. Now, I selected a bad team on defense to go against Alabama because I just wanted to show the capabilities of this defense. So maybe he played this really shallow because he has a low zone rating. I don't know. But maybe that's something you can lab yourself. Maybe you get in the lab and just maybe check that, I guess. And if you know, and you can always take that away yourself. You can use that yourself. You can use her. I wouldn't use her anything over here. I would let them cook and do their job there, but maybe you can use her this, or you can use her over here. I think that would be quite easy. You can even use her this cloud right here and just strafe backwards and just watch the quarterback's eyes, making sure nothing drops underneath. But you can see cover 3 cloud plays beautiful against trips. Okay, so those are the main cover 3s: cover 3 cloud, cover 3 match, cover 3 buzz match, and cover 3 sky. There's other versions of cover 3 like cover 3 hard flat and other types, cover 3 buzz Mabel, but these are the 4 main ones that you're going to see. And so hopefully you found this useful. So anyway, I'll stop the video there. Thanks for watching. I had a lot of fun making it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.